This simple ChatGPT prompt is helping realtors print $14 seller leads with YouTube ads. If you've ever run YouTube ads, you already know the video script is the most important part. But what if you could use ChatGPT to write you one in just seconds? Custom tailored to your market, to your brand, and to your audience. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to cover the exact prompt that is going to generate you a winning script in seconds, and also how to tweak it for optimal performance. Make sure you stick around until the end because I'm giving away the exact prompt I use in the video, so you can just copy it and start printing listings. So let's dive in. So I'm not going to gatekeep anything. I'm going to give you guys the exact ChatGPT prompt that you can do to literally copy it and get these exact results. And these are screenshots because I don't clickbait from my client ad accounts running YouTube ads. Here's a couple of them. And this is me tracking all the data manually. You might be wondering, why am I not taking screenshots of the Google Ads Manager? It's because Google Ads are wrong. Sometimes they tell you get 30 leads and you actually got 12. Right? So I'll be showing you wrong information if I showed you that, which is another reason I always say you need to be tracking all your data manually. So here's a couple examples of it. Well, from one ad account, we're getting, first of all, look at the click-through rates, pretty solid right there. These are number of leads. We got 12 leads at week 9, 10, 10, 3 weeks in a row, which is pretty crazy. But then the average cost per leads, this is what I want to show you: $14, $14.60, $14.50, $16. These are also appointments. So 5 listing appointments at week 2, the next week 2. And you can see how crazy it is. And there's the opt-in rates we're getting from these ads. And so literally you can do this just by using a ChatGPT prompt. So I'm not going to gatekeep anymore. Let's get into it. So this is the exact document right here, spilling all the beans. But if you guys do want this, just comment prompt down below and I'll send you this document as well. But we're about to go crazy right now. So you're going to copy this, you're going to put it in ChatGPT, which is my best friend, to be honest. Put it in there. And first, I made a mistake. We need to edit the city. So I'm in St. Paul, so I'm going to do St. Paul. So you're an expert YouTube ad copywriter for real estate lead generation. Write me a YouTube ad script targeting sellers in St. Paul. I want you to give me 5 different hooks. So this is the 5 different hooks. I'm going to kind of go through what this prompt is also, so you can make your own if you want. Otherwise, again, I'll just give you this one. So 5 different hooks so that we're able to split test all the different angles and seeing which messaging resonates the best in your market. So with all of these agents right here that I showed you, we were split testing 3 to 5 different hooks at a time. So I always like to do 5, especially with a bigger budget. So I would recommend doing 5 different hooks to start. But the main thing, you want each from a different angle, right? If you have 5 different hooks, the whole point of it is to try to find which messaging, which type of message or which angle resonates the most. So the different angles that you should do that work the best are: number 1, bold claim. So this would be like, you can sell your home in under 15 days using this, right? There's a dream scenario, which is selling their home for more money, usually in the least amount of time. Pain point: are you tired of your home sitting on the market forever? Curiosity: we have a brand new, better way to sell that's working best in today's market. And identity based: you can do most smart St. Paul home sellers are doing this, and most people don't know about it. So those are kind of different options, but we'll see what ChatGPT gives us. And we can also kind of reiterate once you understand what a good hook is. And I'm going to go through that with you just step by step. Now, the second part, we want a strong body that explains the lead magnet. And this one's a seller ebook. Always recommend doing an ebook. Now, you might be asking, what's the body? I break up my ad into the hook, the body, and the close. The body is the middle part where you're basically selling your lead magnet, and you're basically showing why it's valuable, why it's unique. So it should position this offer as a new and smarter way to sell a home in today's market, because new and different is always better than better. So the reason for that is, if everyone goes out and says, oh, we have the best thing in the world, we have the best. And of course, everyone says that. Even from my experience, this is going to resonate with some of you guys. Every realtor I speak with has the best conversion rate in the world. Doesn't matter how many deals they sold in the last year. They could have done 2 deals. They're still converting 10 out of 10 leads. I'm like, it doesn't really add up here. But it's the same thing. Like, everyone thinks they're the best in their mind. Even when I go and chat with realtors, I just don't say, I'm like, I know everyone says they're the best, so I'm not going to go out and say I have the best leads in the world, even though I truly think I'm up there with it. But no one believes you when you say that. So you got to show how you're different. So that's the biggest way. Now, the last one is having a close. This is basically, you can see right here, inviting them to click, mentions there's no pressure, no obligation, but also shows B-roll of the landing page to basically show how easy it is to opt in, but also building trust. And that's a big cheat code for you guys, is if your landing page, or if you're not getting as many conversions as you'd like, or your cost per lead is too high, add a B-roll footage of your landing page and someone actually opting in the video itself, so they can see, okay, this is the next step. This is where I'm going to go after this. And basically to kind of just give ChatGPT some more guidance, make it conversational, confident, and real. This is big. Avoid sounding like a typical realtor, which I'm sure you guys know, or a pushy sales script, and then keep it under 2 minutes. This isn't a huge thing. I usually find the best ads nowadays are a minute 30 at least to like 2.5 minutes. That's usually the time range I like to stick between. You can go less than that, but what I've seen, you're not able to sell your lead magnet enough, and you also get sellers coming in who don't have as much intent, right? So the big thing is we want to find people with intent. We don't just want to bring in anybody. So this is the exact ChatGPT prompt right here. Now that we understand how that works, we're going to go put it in here, and I'm going to now put in the right one. Paste that. Let's see what ChatGPT cooks up. So featuring 5 different hooks, conversational, confident delivery. Shoot this as a direct camera video, adding B-roll as suggested. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get this and then copy and paste it in. We'll go in this tab right here so we can kind of play with it and change it up. So we have the hooks, we have the body, we have the close, and screen call to action. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of this over here. We're going to go put it in this tab so we can kind of annotate it. And let's move this down a little bit. Oh, I didn't get the hooks in there. Hooks. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so we have the hooks. We're gonna break it up a bit. We have the hooks, the body, and then the close. So starting out with the hooks, let's break these down and see what ChatGPT gave us. So first, the bold claim. If you're selling a home in St. Paul and still using 2020 strategies, you could be leaving thousands on the table. That's a really solid hook right there. What I'm going to do is just do like a check mark if they're good. Dream scenario. Imagine getting multiple strong offers on your home without endless showings, stress, or wondering if you priced it right. That's a really good one as well, because you need to think, what are they scared of? First of all, they want offers on their home. They hate endless showings. They don't, obviously no one wants more stress, wondering if you priced it right. Now, pain hook. Tired of the list it and pray approach. You deserve more than vague advice and waiting games. I don't love this one. What I would do is the reason I don't like it, first of all, tired to list it and pray. I don't like using terms where it could be left up for interpretation, because yeah, to some people it makes sense. To me, I obviously understand what it is, but you got to think, to these people just watching your ad pops up in the middle of their video, and if they don't clearly understand what it is, it's not going to resonate. So I would go back to the drawing board with this, and we're just going to use ChatGPT to redo this one. Now, curiosity hook. There's a strategy St. Paul sellers are using right now that's helping them sell faster and smarter than their neighbors. That's a big one, than their neighbors, because everyone wants to be better than their neighbor, right? You see Sally next door sells her home for $5,000 over asking price, and then you go and sell yours for 20, not because now you can say you're better than Sally. I've broken it all down for you. That's a solid one right here. I like that. Then identity based. If you're smart, yeah, that's the thing. Calling out them, saying, hey, if you're smart and prepared, they're like, oh, I want to be smart and prepared. Thinking of selling, the free guide was literally made for you. I like that. That's actually a solid one right there. Give that a cheeky little check mark. But now we're going to go back and rewrite this third one. Please rewrite hook 3 to make it more clear to the homeowner. So it shouldn't be feel like crushing and hoping for the best. If you burn my or slower, there's a better way, and I'll show you how. Love that. That's a lot better. So let's go put this in here. Okay, so selling your home shouldn't feel like crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. See, that sounds a lot better, and that's what a lot of people feel. They feel like, oh, we're just putting it out there, nothing's happening. If you've been burned by vague advice or slow results in the past, there's a better way, and I'll show you how. See, one thing, we're already positioning our way as the better way, which is big when it comes to that. So now we're going to give that a big check mark, and now these hooks, we're all good to go. The way you do it is you test 5 different hooks. So 5 hooks, and you're going to split test all of these. I'm not going to go in depth onto the split testing process, but you basically let each one spend, if your cost per lead that you're aiming for in your market is $50, I would let each ad spend at least $100, at least 2 times your target cost per lead before you cut it. And then basically, once you see some ads are doing better than the others, you just start cutting some. So let's say you cut hook 1 and 5, you cut hook 3, and you're left with 2 of them, and then you can just keep doubling down and seeing which works the best. But I'm not going to go into that right now. Those are the different hooks though. Now, going on to the body next. Now that we have those, hey, I'm Noah, a local real estate advisor here in St. Paul. I would take out real estate advisor. I would say a local, I would say in a local real estate agent here in St. Paul. I put together something I wish every homeowner had before selling. It's a free ebook called The Smarter Seller's Guide to St. Paul. So this is one thing right here, positioning, kind of giving it a unique name. So The Smarter Seller's Guide to St. Paul. So it's kind of like positioning it as a unique mechanism. And first of all, this is a big thing. It walks you through. So you want to make it seem super simple how to sell in today's market with strategy, not guesswork. Inside I cover how to time the market without playing roulette. That's a big one because a lot of you got to just keep targeting their pain points and what they feel. 3 pricing traps. Yeah, use words like this where you're getting their attention and it makes them feel like, oh, I don't want to fall into these traps. And you say most sellers don't see it coming. How to prep your home without overspending. There's a lot of withouts in here. That's a big thing. And the exact marketing framework I use to help sellers stand out, even in crowded neighborhoods. And if you have a unique selling proposition like this, I would definitely add that in there. It's not necessary for every single script, but it definitely helps if you do have a marketing approach to do this. And if you do want to say kind of improve your marketing approach just for your current listings, YouTube ads actually do work well for that. That's something I work and talk with a lot of agents about as well. And then this isn't fluff, it's a smarter, more modern. So you see you're positioning it smarter, more modern way to approach selling, especially if you want a smooth sale and top dollar. So it's basically you're positioning it. You can see kind of the keywords. Smarter Seller's Guide to St. Paul walks you through without playing roulette, traps most sellers don't see coming, without overspending, smarter, more modern, smooth sale and top dollar. So you can see if you just go in your script and just highlight and underline these kind of keywords that stand out, there should be a pretty decent handful of these words that are just kind of getting their attention, but also creating curiosity with the seller. And that's the whole goal of it. So this is a solid body right here. And the big thing, like I took out local real estate advisor. You could do that. Honestly, it sounds better now that I look at it. I think the reason they did that was because they didn't want to say real estate agent or realtor, but I would just say a realtor here in St. Paul. I would say, hey, I'm Noah with team whatever in St. Paul. And then I would just go, I put together. I don't even think you need to say all this stuff, but you can do it however you feel works the best. Now that we have the hooks, the body, and then now we go to the close. So this is call to action and trust building. So if you've been thinking about selling in the next 6 to 12 months, click the link and grab your copy. So what I would say, if you're even considering selling in the next 6 to 12 months, click the button. I wouldn't say link. I would say button, just because that's the way it is. It's a learn more button, or you can do download or whatever. But I would say click the button and grab your copy. No pressure, no weird follow-up calls. This is a big one because think about it. When these people click on a Zillow, they sign up on an account on Zillow, or they click on a home and stuff, then all of a sudden they get 20 realtors calling them. How do you think they feel? That's why a lot of times those leads just don't work great. It's because they're getting 17 other agents calling them saying the same exact thing. They're like, how are you any different? Right? So you're just kind of positioning it like that. It's just good info that could seriously change how you sell your home. And then this is where you can add the B-roll of your landing page, basically where they're putting in their information and then going through all of that. You'll see the page is quick, easy, just name and email. So you can see right here, that's a big thing, is tell them what they need to put in. I always do more than name and email. You for sure get phone number. That's a big thing. So I would do it, take out email, and I would do phone, just name and phone, and it's yours. And I also like to ask a couple questions like their address, their timeline, and stuff like that. And then you kind of go through bullet points. It's free. It's built for St. Paul sellers, and it might be the smartest first move you make. Go ahead and click, and I'll send it right over. And I would add instantly. I'll send it right over instantly. My previous video I made, actually, I talk about this, how speed to results is important. So the quicker they know they're going to get it, the more valuable it seems for them. Take a quick coffee break. It's getting kind of cold, I'm not going to lie. But that's the close right there. And this is a really solid script. Again, you can see kind of the tweaks I made. The big thing is what you can do is underline what kind of stands out from it. But that's a really solid script right there. And we literally generated it in 5 seconds with that hook, right? So if you do that, that's how you get click-through rates like this, all really solid, just by testing different hooks. And then you have a good body that's kind of positioning it as unique. And then the close, tying it all together and then building trust. That's the big part with that. Now that we have that, again, you're going to make sure you split test these, but that's your whole script right there. And the way to record these, I know a lot of agents have questions. Oh, where do I record them? How do I talk? First of all, don't change how you talk. Just speak how you normally speak, because the whole goal of it is we're building trust with these people, and you're only bringing in people who actually resonate with you for who you are. So if you're trying to be someone that you're not, you're going to bring in a type of person that you don't want to work with. So just be yourself, speak how you are, and you're going to attract that type of person. So now that we have that out of the way, where do you actually record your ads? Well, I would recommend you could do it anywhere. I say literally anywhere with decent lighting, where they can actually see your face. If your face is fully dark with there's no light, then obviously that's not a good spot. So have some decent lighting. Just you can do it outside, even as long as there's light in front of you and not a ton behind you. And then I would say the only other thing is make sure you have, number one, clear audio, a clear camera, and then there's no background noise. That's really the big thing. If there's dogs barking in the back, that's not going to work. Just make sure you're in a quiet space with good lighting. That's really all it is. And make sure you're not in like your bedroom with a bunch of dirty clothes behind you, right? You could try that, but I would advise against it. But that's how you actually record your ads. Now, one other thing I wanted to add in here was actually generating a image of our lead magnet that's simple but looks valuable. So we offer a ebook, and the reason I do this is because you want to show a picture of what they get in your ad, but also on the landing page in St. Paul. So I want to just use ChatGPT to just generate me a picture, an image of a home seller ebook in St. Paul that's simple but looks valuable. So I might need to create an account for this, or I'm going to log into my account for this really quick. So now I'm in my account. We're going to put this in here and we're going to get that picture. Let's see what it comes up with. And they just made an update to it as well. So usually it's going to be better than it was before. We'll see how long it takes though. So here's the image right here. This is honestly, it's decent. I would add it. I think it's fine for this case. Let's just copy the image and we'll just put it in here. What you want to do is make sure that you get a transparent background on it. I think it's pretty good, but I would also add like a picture of a home on the cover of it. So I would just ask ChatGPT to do that. And then make sure that you have, let's just crop it. And because you don't want just to make it look like it's obviously like AI generated with this background and stuff. So it would just be like this, and that's pretty solid right there. You could definitely make it look a little better, make it look more 3D, but that's solid right there. And again, this is literally all you have to do. Use that ChatGPT prompt. If you want me to send this doc over to you, just comment AI prompt or prompt in the comments below, and I'll send it over. And if you do want me to basically come into your business, set all this up for you, because I like to give everything away for free. So you don't have to work with someone. You can just do it yourself. But if you maybe don't have the time, don't want to spend all the time, all the hours, all the money testing all the stuff, basically that's what people pay me to do. So if you do want to have a chat about how this could look in your business and just getting it set up pretty much on autopilot for you, how you can get a couple extra listings each month with this exact system and have me just do it for you, feel free to check the link in the description. It's the first one, and book a call with me. I also do have a guarantee in there that a lot of agents do like, but we'll go over all of that, potential next steps, go over any questions and all that stuff. But in the meantime, if you do want to learn more just about YouTube ads, not ready to maybe take that step, feel free to go check out all the other videos on my channel. There's a lot of valuable stuff, and just learn and just take in all the information. Make sure you take notes, but you can literally go out and do it yourself if you want. But I appreciate you watching this video. Have a great rest of your day.